Here is the next one, commutativity of multiplication. So in commutativity, what should we have? If I multiply A and B or I multiply B and A, I should always get the same answer. Then I can say multiplication is commutative for integers. Let's try out. So there is a table as you can see. See, 3 into minus 4, it is coming as minus 12. Can we write it as minus 4 into 3? Yes. Is it also going to give us minus 12? Yes, it is going to give us minus 12 for sure. 3 into 4 is 12. Also 4 into 3 is 12. And because the negative sign is coming once, so we will put a negative sign in the answer. So what is the inference? That statement 1 is equal to statement 2. So we can say 3 into minus 4 or 3 multiplied with minus 4 is equal to minus 4 multiplied with 3. Going to the next one, 30 into 12, two positive integers, simple multiplication, you will get 360. In the next one, 12 into 30 if we do, then also we are going to get the answer as 360. So what we can say, that 30 into 12 is equal to 12 into 30. Both are giving us the same answer, right? The next one, minus 15 and minus 10. So 15 and 10 when you multiply, you get 150. Now come the thing for sign. Which sign to place? Negative or positive? We see here both of them are negative. Negative sign is coming even number of times. Answer is going to be positive. Similarly, 10 and 15 multiplied together gives us 150. And negative, you know, the answer is going to be positive as we have discussed in our previous lecture. So here what is the inference that we can come out with? 15 into 10 is equal to, or we say minus 15 into minus 10 is equal to minus 10 into minus 15. They both are equal. So till now multiplication is commutative. When one is positive, one is negative. We have taken both the positive integers and we have also taken both the negative integers. Next one, minus 35 and minus 12. You see again both are negative, answer is going to be positive, that we are pretty sure of. So multiplying 35 and 12, we will be getting 420. Similarly 12 and 35 will give us 420 and it will be positive. So we can say minus 35 into minus 12 is equal to minus 12 into minus 35. Clear? The next one is minus 17 into 0. You multiply any integer with 0. What is the answer that we get? We get 0. Similarly, I can write 0 multiplied with minus 17. This is also going to give me 0 as the answer. So we can say minus 17 into 0 is equal to 0 into minus 17. Next one we have here, we have to fill this one as well as this one now because we know what commutative property means. It means A cross B should be equal to B cross A. So when we do it here, you see minus 1 and minus 15. So to solve it here, I will write minus 15 into minus 1, right? Okay, so minus and minus would become positive in multiplication. 15 into 1 is 15. And here also you will be getting 15. Are they equal? Yes, they are equal for sure. So we can write minus 15 into minus 1 is equal to minus 1 into minus 15. And we see in all the cases the answer is going to be an integer. The answer is going to be equal for statement 1 and 2. So we can say commutativity for multiplication of integers is verified. So we can write in general that two integers A and B, A cross B or A multiplied with B is equal to B multiplied with A. Clear? Next is multiplication by 0. Let's try out. Okay. If I multiplied minus 3 with 0, I am going to get 0. 0 multiplied with minus 4, 0 multiplied with any number, the answer is always going to be 0. Correct? So we can say if we multiply an integer with 0 or we write A into 0 or 0 into A, the answer is always going to be 0. Okay, which is that integer with which if we multiply any integer, the answer is going to be that particular integer. Yeah. So listen to the statement again what I said. What is that integer that we multiply with any integer? What is that particular integer? If I multiply with any other integer, I am going to get that other integer as the answer. So see here, minus 3 into 1. What is the answer? Minus 3. So this is the integer. I multiply it with 1. I am going to get the same integer as the answer, minus 3. Now, minus 1 into 4. Yes, we are going to get minus 4. 1 into minus 5 would be, students, minus 5. And you know this is going to be minus 6. This multiplication is very easy. 1 into 5 is 5. 1 into 8 is 8. 3 ones are 3. And 7 ones are 7. You see, here the answers. Yes, you are multiplying any integer with 1. Okay, you multiply it before or after, like you do 1 cross 5 or 5 cross 1. The answer would always be 5. You see what is happening? 1 is that number with which if we are multiplying any integer, we are going to get the same integer as the answer. So we can say a cross 1, that means a multiplied with 1 or 1 multiplied with a. A here is any integer. The answer is going to be what? The answer is going to be a only, the integer with which we are multiplying 1. Okay, let's look here. Let's think about minus 1. What if we multiply with minus 1? Can minus 1 also be considered as the multiplicative identity? Let's try out. Minus 3 into minus 1, negative will become positive, and 3 into 1 is 3. Here it was minus 3, but the answer here is 3. It is not same. Again 3 into minus 1 is minus 3. Answer is minus 3. But the integer was 3. Sign is getting changed. If it is negative 3, it became plus 3. And if it is 3, it is becoming minus 3. Minus 6 into minus 1. You see negative, positive, and 6 into 1 is 6. It is negative again and it is positive. Similarly, here you will get minus 13. 25 and minus 18. What is happening, students? If you observe, the signs are getting changed. Positive is becoming negative, negative is becoming positive. So yes, multiplication of minus 1 with any of our integer is not going to give us the same integer as the answer. So we cannot consider minus 1 as the multiplicative identity. The multiplicative identity is 1. So 0 is the additive identity, because when we were adding 0 in the number, we were getting the same number. Whereas 1 is the multiplicative identity. So this is a very important question, can come for 1 mark in your exams, that what is the additive identity for integers and what is the multiplicative identity for integers. You're gonna answer that 0 is the additive identity, whereas 1 is the multiplicative identity. We get additive inverse of an integer a when we multiply minus 1 to a. Just see, if we are multiplying the integers with the negative of 1, okay, with negative 1, what we are getting? The additive inverse, like the sign is getting changed of the number. So what we can call minus 1 as not the multiplicative identity, but the additive inverse of an integer a. When we multiplied with this sign is getting changed. What is the additive inverse of 3? It is minus 3. So what we are getting actually the additive inverse of that number. So minus 1 is used for additive inverse. Clear? Next thing is associativity for multiplication. Look at these two statements. Okay, carefully we are going to look here. In the square brackets, we have written minus 3 and minus 2, and the operation that is being performed is of multiplication. Then outside we are again multiplying the answer with 5. And here we have kept minus 3 outside the bracket, outside the square bracket, and inside the bracket we have minus 2 and 5. So basically what we are doing is, as you can see, minus 3 and minus 2, you know the answer what we are going to get. It is going to be 6 as the answer. As we have already discussed, negative and negative in the multiplication will become positive into 5. So 6 into 5 will become 30. Similarly here, minus 3 into Now minus 2 into 5 will give me minus 10, and minus 3 and minus 10 will become in multiplication plus 30. So both of them are positive 30. Is the answer same? Yes. That means it doesn't make any difference if you multiply the first two integers and then the result is getting multiplied with the third one. Or you multiply the second and third integer and whatever the product you get, you're multiplying with the first one. The answer is always going to be same. Yes. Let's try some more examples. As we can see, it is 7 into minus 6. So what we are going to get? Minus 42. Yeah, because 7 into 6 is 42 and we have one negative sign. One of the integer is negative, so answer is going to be negative. Let us now multiply minus 42 with 4. So negative answer is going to come for sure. 4 2s are 8 and 4 4s are 16. The answer is minus 168. Now let's see this. 7 is written outside and we will first multiply minus 6 and 4. So 7 into 6 into 4 will be 24 but negative 24. Negative 24 multiplied with 7 will give us a negative integer as the answer. So 7 4s are 28, right? So 2 will be the carry. 7 2s are 14 and 2 16. Again students, you see we are getting the answer as 168. So is this, that means we multiplied 7 and minus 6 and the product with 4. Or we do this, we multiply minus 6 and 4 and the product with 7. Are they both equal? Yes, they both are equal. So the next example also we have tried and it is coming out to be same. So what we can say, if we have three integers, we can multiply the first two and later on the result with C, the third integer. Or what we can do, we can multiply the last two integers and multiply the product with the first integer. We are always going to get the same answer of multiplication. It doesn't make any difference if we multiply the first one with the second one or the second one with the third one. The answer in the multiplication is going to be same. So yes, associative property of integers is verified now. So we can say this, A cross B into C is equal to A into B cross C. So like the whole numbers, the product of three integers does not depend upon the grouping of integers. As in the whole numbers, we can multiply any integer with other, right? So the order actually does not matter. Same is the case with integers, and this is known as associative property for multiplication of integers. I hope this makes sense and is clear. Okay. Now we have the distributive property, a very interesting property. Just see, we have some statements, we'll look at them, figure out what does it mean. So observe it carefully. Now minus 2 multiplied with 3 plus 5, okay. In the associativity we have multiplication sign in place of this plus. But now we are adding two integers and multiplying it with another integer. So what will happen? 3 and 5 we know is 8. And if you multiply minus 2 with 8, you are going to get the answer as minus 16. Now what is happening in the second case? We have multiplied minus 2 with 3, that means the first integer also with minus 3 and the second minus 2 and the second integer also with minus 2. And if we are adding them, okay, what is happening? 2 into 3 minus 6, then minus 2 into 5 is minus 10 and the answer is minus 16. Are they both same? Yes, they are same. So, can we say minus 2 into 3 plus 5 is minus 2 into 3 plus minus 2 into 5. So, what actually we have done, students? This minus 2 is distributed to both of them. And we are multiplying minus 2 with 3 and with 5 using this multiplication sign, and between both the products, we will place the sign which is between these two numbers. Similarly, if you observe the second example, minus 4 is written here, minus 2 plus 7. If you add minus 2 and 7, what is the answer? Plus 5. Multiplying 5 and minus 4 gives us minus 20. Similarly, first of all, we will distribute this minus 4 to to minus 2 and 7. See, minus 4 is distributed with minus 2 and 7 with the help of this multiplication sign. In between, what is the sign? Plus. So between the products, we have placed addition sign. Now minus 4 into minus 2 will give us plus 8 and minus 4 into 7 will give us minus 28. Solving these two, we get minus 20. So yes, we are getting both the statements as equal. So what we can say, that A cross B plus C is there. We can do like this, A into B, we can multiply A with B and A with C and can add up the product. Clear? So what is happening? A is getting distributed to B and C using this multiplication sign, and between both the products, we are going to place a positive sign. Okay, so we have some of the questions now for practice. Let's do them. The first one says 10 into, and inside the square bracket we have 6 plus minus 2. Yes? Okay, and here we have 10 into 6 plus 10 into minus 2. Into I am using for multiplication. So let's see here. First of all, let us solve our left hand side. Just see here, 10 into 6 plus minus will become minus. 6 minus 2 is 4. What is the answer, student? 40. Right? Let's solve this one, which is our right hand side. 10 into 6 is 60 plus 10 into 2 is minus 20, which is nothing but 6 minus 20. Is it also going to give us 40 as the answer? As we can see, the answer is same. So yes, they are equal. So we can definitely say yes. Yeah. The next one, it is minus 15 into, inside the bracket we have minus 7 and minus 1 into addition, and then they are saying you multiply minus 15 with minus 7 and minus 15 with minus 1. What is the answer that we get? Let's solve the left hand side first. So we have minus 15. Now let us first add minus 7 and minus 1. So we will get minus 8. Multiplying minus 15 and minus 8, we will get the answer as plus 120. Similarly, students, on the right hand side, what are we going to get? Just see. Minus 15 into minus 7. What will be the answer? Plus 105. And the next answer, minus 15 into 1 is 15. Adding them, you get 120 is the answer. Are they both same? Yes, they both are same. So can we say that this is equal to this? Yes, we can say it. So what we can say in general, that if we have three integers a, b and c, we can definitely say a into b plus or minus c, whatever is the answer here. Like we can write plus also here. So here also it will be plus. If it is plus, we will mention the sign of plus, and if it is minus, we will mention the sign of minus. Okay, let's try out these now. These are negative ones. Okay. So 10 into 6 minus minus 2. Let's try this first one. 10 into 6 minus minus 2. This we have inside the bracket. So if I solve this, 6 minus and minus will become plus. 6 plus 2 is 8. What is the answer, students? 80. Easy to solve. Solve this one. 10 into 6. What is the answer? 60. Minus 10 into minus 2. That will be minus 20. Yeah, so it is going to be plus 20. What is the answer? 80. So can we say that the left hand side is equal to right hand side? Yes, they both are equal, and hence we can say multiplication distributive over subtraction as well. As we have done for addition, we can say it for subtraction, that a cross b minus c we have. We can write it as a cross b minus a cross c, and it is verified using this example. Next also, students, we can verify the second part. Minus 15, and then we have minus 7 minus of minus 1. See, minus 15, we have multiplication sign, minus and minus will become plus. Minus 7, minus minus would be plus 1. Minus 15 into minus 7 into 1 will give you minus 6. Negative will give you a positive answer into multiplication. 15 into 6 is 90. Similarly, solving this one, minus 15 into minus 7 minus 15 into minus 1. Minus 15 into minus 7. What is the answer? 105. And minus and minus would again be positive. So 15 into 1 is 15. When you subtract, we are going to get the answer as 90. You see, in both the cases, the answer is same. What does this mean? That means multiplication is distributive over subtraction. Multiplication is distributive over addition as well. Clear? Let's make our multiplication easier. How do we do it? So what we are going to do in this one, beta, we are going to figure out by multiplying which two integers we get a number which is easy to multiply with the third one, right? To make the multiplication easy. Just see here the first one. So we can find minus 25 into 37 and 4. What you can do? You will multiply minus 25 with 37 as written here, and then you can multiply it with 4. Because in multiplication you multiply any integer first with the another one. That doesn't make any difference. Order does not matter. But here when we multiply, it is going to take time, minus 25 and 37 for sure. So it is minus 925. And when you multiply it with 4, what is the answer? Minus 3700. Instead of this, what can have been done? What would have been done that would have made it easier? Okay, so just see here. Can I multiply minus 25 and 4? First, yes, and I know it is going to be 100. So these are smaller numbers. Multiplication will take lesser time. 100 multiplied with 37, multiplication of 100 with any number is very easy. So we get minus 3700. Same answer we are getting. But which is the easy way? This one is the easier way. This is making us take less time, and also we are getting on the correct result. Right? So in these also we have to figure out something and see why multiplying which two numbers we get the answer as an easy one. In the first one, we have minus 18 into minus 10 into 9. So we can multiply any of them, like we can multiply minus 18 with minus 10, that will give us plus 180, and then with 9. 18 into 9 is 162, so 1620 is the answer. There is nothing much to figure out in this. The second one, 20 into minus 2 into minus 5 into 7. As I told you, order does not matter in multiplication. Let's figure out what we can do. So we can always do minus 20 into, okay, minus 2 and minus 5 I can multiply first. That will give me plus 10 into 7. Now, what I can do? Minus 20 and 10 multiplication is quite easy. Into 7. And then we are going to get it as minus 1400. Also, what could have been done? Minus 20 and minus 5 we could multiply. That will give us 100. And minus 2 and 7 will give us minus 14. So then also we will get minus 1400. So these are some ways which can make our calculation easier. So we are always trying to get, or we are always trying to figure out that we get minus 10, 100, 1000 like this, because these multiplications are quite easy. The next one, the third one, let's figure out this one. Minus 1, minus 5, minus 4 and minus 6. So when we solve this, just see what we can do. I can multiply minus 1 and minus 5 and 4 and 6. Also I can multiply 5 and 4 and minus 6 and minus 6, just see. Yeah, like this. So minus 5 and minus 4 is plus 20, and minus 1 and 6, minus 6 is 6. So yes, this is quite easy to do. Correct? So these ways, these are some of the ways we can do. You can figure out, you could multiply 5 and 6 first, right? So that you get 20s, 30s, 40s like this. So this is making the calculation really easy, and you can see the answer is positive as the negative sign here is 4 times coming into multiplication. That means even number of times. Clear? Okay, let's verify this one. We have minus 30 into this one. Solve this. 13 minus 3. So minus 30 into 13 minus 3 students, we will be getting 10. And minus 30 into 10, quite easy to solve, minus 300. Let's do this one. So minus 30 into 13, 13 3s are 39, minus 390. Plus, what do we have inside the second bracket? Minus 30 into minus 3. So negative negative will become positive in multiplication. And 30 into 3, we will get 90. So when you solve it, will you get minus 300? Yes. Right? Are the answers same? Yes. So what we can say? Either you do this, what we are doing actually, we are distributing this minus 30 to 13 and minus 3, and in the between there is a positive sign, so we have placed the addition sign, the positive sign. Clear? So we have another question for you here, and it's a very interesting question and important also, as it keeps repeating in exams. Okay, listen here. In a class test, there was a class test, and how many questions were there in that? 15. So first thing that we have in our question which is given to us is total number of questions. What is total number of questions? 15. So that I have written. So I am just writing given things here, what we are given in the question. The next is 4 marks are given for every correct answer. Okay. So we will write marks for correct answer. What are the marks that we are getting for the correct answer? 4. So I am just mentioning plus 4. And minus 2 marks. Listen here, negative 2 for every incorrect. If your answer is wrong, minus 2 will be awarded. So we will write marks for incorrect answer. What is it? Negative 2. Clear? So now they are saying the first one. Let's do the first part. What are they saying? Gurpreet attempts all questions. That means Gurpreet has attempted all 15. There is nothing left by her. No question left by her. All 15 she has attempted. Now, but only 9 of her answers are correct. If 9 are correct, how many are incorrect? So we will write number of correct answers. What are number of correct answers in the question, beta? They are 9. Okay. So number of incorrect answer is how many? Out of 15, if 9 are correct, then you subtract 9 from 15, you get 6. So there are 6 questions which she has attempted and are incorrect, and she has attempted 9 questions correctly. So if she has attempted 9 questions correctly, so what are marks awarded? What are marks awarded for 9 correct answers, beta? For 9 correct answers. For 1 correct answer, you get a plus 4. So you will multiply 9 with 4. What is it? 36. That means she got 36 when she attempted 9 correct answers. But she has made mistakes in the other 6 questions. So marks awarded. What will be the marks awarded? For 6 incorrect answers. So she has written 6 incorrect answers, and for 1 incorrect answer she will be awarded minus 2. For 6 incorrect answers we will multiply 6 with minus 2, that is minus 12. So because of the incorrect answer she got minus 12, and because of 9 correct answers she got 36 marks. So what is her total score? So total score is, you add the marks for correct and incorrect. Correct is 36, incorrect is minus 12. So when we solve, we get 36 minus 12, and that gives us the answer as 24. Correct? So what was her total score? 24. Because of 6 incorrect answers, she got minus 12. Okay? Easy to do. The next one is, the second part of the question says, one of her friend gets only 5 answers correct. That means there are 10 incorrect answers. Okay, let's do that here only. In the second part, How many are correct? 5 answers correct. So what will be the marks awarded? Marks awarded for 5 correct answers. What are the marks awarded for 5 correct answers? You see beta, for 1 correct you get +4. So for 5 correct you multiply 5 with +4, you get 20. If she has attempted 5 questions correctly, how many questions are done incorrectly? 10. So we will write marks awarded for 10 incorrect answers. For 10 incorrect answers, what we will get? For 1 we get -2. For 10 we will get -20. So 20 she got because her answers are correct. -20 she got because of her incorrect answer. And if you add 20 and -20, the answer is going to be 0. So her score is 0. Clear?
So in this question, it is said that suppose we represent the distance above the ground. So if the distance is above the ground, we will represent it via positive integer. And that below the ground, that means if the distance to be measured is below the ground, then it has to be represented with a negative integer. So based on this information, we have to answer the following 2 questions. The first part of the question says, an elevator descends into a mine. Descends means it goes down into a mine shaft at the rate of 5 meter per minute. That means it is going down at what rate? 5 meter per minute. What will be its position after 1 hour? Okay, because it is going down, so the distance will be represented with a negative integer. So we will write change in position of the elevator. So change in position of elevator at every minute, it goes 5 meters down. So change in position of elevator in 1 minute. In 1 minute, it goes down by 5 meter. Because it is going down, we will represent it with a minus sign. So it will be -5 meters. We have to find change in position in 1 hour. So change in position of the elevator in 1 hour means 60 minutes. Right? We know 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So change in position of elevator in 60 minutes will be equal to how much? It will be -5 meter multiplied with 60. That gives us -300 meter. Now it will be, the position will be 300 below the ground. This negative sign here shows below the ground. Clear? So the final answer is -300 meter. We say the position is 300 meter below the ground because of this negative sign. As it is below the ground, represented with a negative sign. Let us solve the second part now. In the second part of the question, it is said if it begins to descend from 15 meter above the ground, that means it's already 15 meter above the ground. So this distance is to be represented with plus sign, or I say a positive integer. What will be its position after 45 minutes? So we are asked the position after 45 minutes. So you will write change in position of elevator after 45 minutes. You know that in the first part it was given that in 1 minute it goes down by 5 meter. So in 45 meters, because it is going down, it will be -5 meter into 45. That gives us -225 meters. Now we have to, it was already 15 meter above the ground. So what will be the final position? Just see, we will add both of them. -225 meter plus 15 meter. That gives us -210 meter. That means the final position of the elevator after 15 minutes is 210 meter below the ground, right? The negative sign shows below the ground, the positive sign shows above the ground. The positive integer is representing the position above the ground and the negative sign is representing the position below the ground. So this is how we are going to solve this question.